what do you get when Dharma Productions gets 6 directors, many of whom are independent filmmakers, to apply the candied, feel-good, frothy Dharma packaging to a documentary series about the love stories of real people? A pretty cool experiment. With their 6-episode Prime Video series Love Storiyaan, Dharma seeks to deliver the warm fuzzies at a time when we all continue to have a giant love story-shaped hole in our hearts. It's a delightful idea considering the real world is filled with so many stirring, soulful stories of connection and companionship that are no less romantic, aspirational, or affecting than the swooning sagas on the big screen that we all yearn for. Magic does, I think, exist in the real world, it just looks different. Conceptualized by Suchin Mehrotra, Love Storiyaan tells 6 stories curated by the India Love Project, a Humans of New York style Instagram page which celebrates stories of interfaith, intercaste, and queer couples. These are inherently dramatic, filmy tales of couples who've had to face and overcome resistance and countless obstacles to just be. To discuss an anthology series such as this is to try and steer clear of overused terms like mixed bag. But that's pretty much what you get here. At best, these are brief snapshots of humanity and resilience that put a smile on your face and leave you with hope. Heartfelt, touching tales of 2 people against the world. At worst, these are stagey, generic, and oddly structured. Of course, liberties have been taken to amplify and exaggerate their journeys, and if it's about love, I'm happy to be manipulated, but only when it's effective. Many of the episodes rely heavily on dramatic, deal-breaking recreations of the past. So while the couple's voiceover narrates how they met, we get long stretches of actors playing their younger versions to bring their origin stories to life. It sort of goes against the whole point and defeats the purpose. You either go down the modern love route and have fictional takes of these stories, or you trust that these people and their stories, and indeed these storytellers, are enough to make us feel. As if they don't trust themselves to find the magic in the mundane and hence must rely on the easy way out. For example, the first episode titled An Unsuitable Girl, directed by Hardik Mehta, leans heavily on these fictional recreations in telling the story of Delhi-based writer and editor Ekta and her husband, author and journalist Ulek. I was taken by the ideas Ekta discussed of the struggles of being a single mother who has a boyfriend and how her womanhood was often at odds with the expectations of motherhood. But despite their journey being full of hurdles leading up to the happy, you rarely feel it in the telling. The second episode from Meenakshi Sundareshwar director Vivek Soni, titled Love on Air, is set in Shillong and delves into the relationship of 2 RJs, Nicholas Karnami aka Madboy Nikki J and RJ Rajni Chetri, and how they had to find acceptance as both an interfaith relationship and the fact that Nick is a divorcee. Love on Air has an enjoyable energy given that they're both such charismatic personalities, and I like that it examined conflict and struggles couples can face after marriage. But it's also oddly structured in terms of how Vivek chooses to balance tragedy and triumph, giving us more of an uneven emotional roller coaster than he perhaps intended to. It's the 3rd chapter of Love Storiyaan, which for me was the first time this series sprung to life. Homecoming, directed by Shazia Iqbal and co-directed by Rahul Badvelkar, introduces us to the infinitely huggable Sharmila and Suneet Kumar Saha, who've been married for 45 years. After marriage, they had to move to India from their home in Bangladesh as a result of their families refusing to accept them because he's Hindu and she's Muslim. There's a lovely scene where Suneet is going down memory lane and recalling how he got into Dhaka University back in the day, and his wife Sharmila is literally completing his sentences. When 2 people are together for that long and have done that much life together, after a point, telling a story becomes a joint effort. Backed up by Sangeet and Siddharth Haldipur's gentle score, I like that Shazia's film wasn't merely about a couple looking back at and recounting their story to us, but also sees them return to their home in Bangladesh for the first time after decades. They're quite literally taking us on a journey. I similarly enjoyed director Akshay Indakar's segment titled Ra Sangharsh Ki, about a Dalit woman who eloped with a Brahmin man. The Indore-based Rahul Banerjee and Subhadra Khaparde are both social activists. 2 headstrong rebels with a common cause who found romance while fighting for the rights of others. I like that director Akshay and his editor Costa Bhonge's pacey, brisk storytelling feels like jumping onto a moving train. It's not spoon-feeding us their story as much as it is asking us to keep up in how it uses this couple's story to discuss issues of caste discrimination and the limited rights of women. In Fastlay, the 5th installment, director Archana Phadke takes us into the lives of Kerala-based Dhanya Ravindran, who fell for Humayun Koram, a man from Afghanistan. The two met at university in Russia and Humayun immediately fell for her because, he says, she resembled Rekha, one of his favorite actresses. A year after marriage in the late 90s, the two became stranded in Afghanistan for years amidst the brutal Taliban rule. Among the six, Archana's was the episode I was most excited about because of her delightful film about love, which chronicles 3 generations of her family living under the same roof. But I found none of the intimate charm and warmth of that film here in what feels like a by-the-book narration of events. It was in the final chapter, Colin Dacuna's Love Beyond Labels, where I really felt the love. It follows the romance of Tista Das, a trans woman, and Deepan Chakrabarti, a trans man. Again punctured by long stretches of actors playing their younger selves, which I'm just choosing to ignore at this point. This was incredibly sensitive, not only in how it gently explores a trans person's painful journey going through discrimination, puberty, and transitioning, but also in giving us a hopeful tale of self-discovery. There's a heartwarming montage that concludes this final episode from Colin and his aptly named editor, Prem Kumar, where the series came closest to giving me what I was hoping to get from it. Glossy, vibrant, loved-up filmmaking applied to real people. I don't think Storiyaan quite manages to reach the swooning highs of the touching stories it wants us to experience. It reminded me of a series that I think did it better. Netflix's docu-series My Love, which takes you into the lives of 6 elderly couples in 6 different countries. That show explored that idea that was so beautifully articulated in Everything Everywhere All at Once. In another life, I would have really liked just doing laundry and taxes with you. Magic does, I think, exist in the real world, it just looks different. I wish I felt more of that in this series. You can watch Storiyaan on Amazon Prime Video. For more reviews like this one, like this video, share this video and subscribe to Reviews and More.